Let's create a real app from scratch and deploy it onto a VPS. The goal of this video is simple. Vibe code a simple application. Make sure it has some usage. Deploy it to an open source repository. Deploy it to a hosting service, for example, Hostinger in this case. We're going to deploy it onto a VPS. And finally, we are going to explore different monetization strategies which can be there. And I'll leave it up to you. How do you take care of it? I'm going to make this project open source. And with that, let's check a demo of the application. So this is a thumbnails generation application that we can create with AI. Now, all of this UI is done with the help of AI. I provided some of my inputs. I copied some of the components from Eternity, but this is what we have. For example, if I hover over here, and we also have our API key right here. If I hover over here, select an image, for example, this, it has some motion to it. If I'll be there, motion will be there. I love micro interactions. Now, if I ask it to generate a thumbnail for a specific style for me, for example, create a thumbnail for the title AI versus human, make it Mr. Beast style. And I hit generate thumbnail. It will start generating and it will generate 3 thumbnail options for you. First, second, and third, all will have some sort of variety. And we are not using anything. We are using a Nano Banana Pro model from Google, Gemini, whatever you might want to call it. And this is what we have eventually. Forget the image, but you get the point, right? You can also download or remove the thumbnail. And ultimately, we can have many sorts of features like if I want to provide a thumbnail for an example, we might be able to do it, might not, I don't know, I leave it up to you. But this is what we are going to create and this is what we are going to deploy it as well. The best part about this is the user provides their own API key. But if you want to make a SaaS out of it, I recommend you to first enhance prompt. Second, have login and authentication system. And third part here I want to take is I do not want you to ask API key from the user. Use your own API keys. Charge user some tokens or some credits based on their usage. But since this application is open source, I don't want to fund this application. We'll make it open source and we'll leave it to people to use it. Awesome. So we got these 3 thumbnails, decent looking thumbnails. The prompt is really simple. And with that, let's get right into the video and let's get to the production of it. So before we jump on to creating our vibe coded application, let's talk about today's sponsor, which is Hostinger. Hostinger specializes in providing high quality VPS at a very affordable price, cheap price according to me. It is very affordable for me to actually use it for deploying web applications and, for example, deploying AI assistants like CloudBot. In our case, we'll be using their VPS, which is this service right here, but you get to choose from a lot of services like WordPress hosting or simple node hosting. We are going to use VPS hosting, and their plan of KVM2 actually is really helpful in our case because it gives us 2 vCPUs, 8 GB of RAM and 100 gigs of disk space. Now this is more than enough for me to launch AI applications or general web applications, even side projects or even production ready applications as well. Once you choose this plan for over 2 years, you get a generous discount already. If you choose this plan and use my coupon code Manupaji, or you can visit the link hostinger.com/Manupaji to avail additional 10% discount on your VPS purchases. Once you are redirected to your dashboard after the purchase, you will be redirected to this screen. Now you can choose a Linux of your choice, either Arch or Kali, but I prefer Ubuntu because it is simple. Use the latest version, which is 24, and it just works. Secondly, it will ask you to set up your root password or your SSH keys. Go ahead and create any password, any secure password, or you can choose the SSH key format as well. Both work fine in this case. Finally, it will recommend for additional features as well, but you can choose to opt out of them or opt in, doesn't really matter. Hit finish and you'll be redirected to your dashboard. So once you're done and your VPS is done setting up, it will take hardly 5 to 6 minutes to set up. You'll see this screen, and we'll come back to this screen later on in the video where we are going to deploy our application to production with this VM instance. So let's get right into building, and I'll see you till the end of the video where we deploy this application to production. All right, let's create an empty folder and let's call it YT, or call it thumbnail generator. Cool. Now I'll open terminal. Let's say I'll open Warp and I'll initialize Cloud Code in it. Cloud Code, Q Cloud Code. Why do we even need Cloud Code? Since we are vibe coding this, let's do everything from itself. So Cloud, and we have Cloud Code right here. That is fine. There's a folder on the desktop called thumbnail generator. Initialize a beat project with Tailwind in it. Let's see how good the AI is. I'm not sure, but let's try. There's no harm in trying. We're using Sonnet 4.5. No expectations, that's fine. Oh my god, thumbnail generate. We have generator. All right, let's see what do we have here. And I'll also open a new window, but then let's do it later only. Also have some water every once in a while. That's not how to do it, I guess. But let's see. We'll just, man. Sometimes I hate AI. Config file it is creating. Bullshit. Ah, man, this is not the way. Let's just deal with it for now. I don't want to start dev server. I just want the repo. So let's quit warp and open a new window. And here I'll open a project, desktop, thumbnail generator. Let's see what we have here. I'll zoom in it a bit. Maybe I don't want the latest. Okay. Source app.jsx. First thing, I don't want app.jsx. I want tsx. But first, let me do this npm run dev. And what do we have here? We have this. And for those of you who say AI will replace shit, many of the product managers will quit right here because the starting point was wrong. You could have done better, bro. Let's go to tailwindcss.com and let's go to Wheat, not seed, Wheat. Install with the Wheat CSS plugin. I have to do this, which I know I have to do. And again, I'll have to paste a plugin which is imported from Tailwind CSX. So I'll go to config, Wheat config. I'll zoom it a bit so that you see it better. And all right, I want to paste this here and Tailwind CSS plugin. I want to paste right here. Record do run by. Cool. Once we have it, I think we need global CSS or Tailwind import CSS. We'll go to main index.css. Instead of this, we need this. Instead of app.jsx, I don't know where is the Tailwind config file. Don't need it. So we'll go to main.jsx, app.tsx. Instead of this, let's say we have a section or even main and we call it hscreen bgred 500. Let us see. And now refresh npm run dev. I forgot. All right, looks like post CSS plugin. Post CSS has been moved to separate package to continue. We need to install post CSS. We do not need post CSS. And I'll just refresh app.css, app.jsx. What the hell is wrong? Wheat config. I have tailwind Wheat. And now you have it. See, not the post CSS config. We don't need actually the post CSS config here. If at all we are explicitly mentioning that is when we need. And that is when you also need to take care of a lot of things which are encountered with AI now. That's not the topic of this video. We need to create it and we need to create it fast. But before that, I want to create this project to TypeScript. And before that, all right, take this entire project and convert it to TypeScript. And I'll let AI do all of the talk because converting to TypeScript is a proven concept. Everyone knows how to do it. So let AI do it seamlessly. It'll have to install TAC and stuff. All right, I don't see TSX. There are only two JSX files that needs conversion, app and main. It'll convert it to TSX and install necessary packages, tsconfig and stuff like that. Let's see where we are. I love Cloud Code. I love Cursor. I want to use both. So I do this. Cloud Code in the terminal and I have the chat window on the right or agentic window, whatever you want to call it. I think we have a TypeScript project. All right, I think we're done. I'll just open up a new terminal. I'll do npm run dev and I'll see where we are with the project and it is working. First things first, go to app CSS. I do not want this and I do not want anything for that matter, not even this. And I'll go to app tsx and I'll refresh. You see everything is there. I need bg gray 100 and max. Okay. And first I have this. I'll also create components. So components, and then I'll create a hero section, rafc hero. And now once I import this hero section, see we have hero written over here. Perfectly cool. I want to center align it. So I'll do class name max width 5 pixel and max auto. We have it rightly centered here. I'll create a simple padding of let's say 40 and I'll call it an h1 tag and I'll simply call create stunning thumbnails for your videos in seconds. You have this. I want to maybe make it a bit bolder. Text 4xl, font bold, max width 3xl. Not this 6xl, maybe this. I do not need this font. Maybe do I have anything related to fonts anywhere? Maybe I can play with the tracking and stuff, but I'll go to hero. Tracking would be tight. So you have this and text neutral 600. Not so much so of vibe coding, but you get the point. I do not vibe code entirely. So you actually get to implement your taste as well. If you're just vibe coding, taste gets lost in translation. It is very important for you to write some of the part of it manually so that you at least give a design direction to your AIs or LLMs or whatever you might want to call it. Text LG, text neutral 4 or 400, and I'll call it upload or not upload. That can be a great feature as well. We'll write it down. What should be the description? Generate thumbnails with your image with modern styles and AI. I'll call it MT4. So I have this now. Ultimately, I want to have a component from Easternity, which I'll go to right now. your.easternity.com. I'll go to components. Why is not working? And I'll search for file upload. There are reasons why I don't like this anymore. So this is the component that I want, not in dark mode though, in light mode. Light mode wins always. Also, my face gets illuminated. So yeah, this is the component that I want. But before that, I want to install a few things. I'll close Cloud Code. npm I clsx motion tailwind merge React, drop zone. What else do I want? All of these things I think would do. And I also want to copy the CN file. So I'll go here and I'll go to libutils.txt, not ocaml, ts. So now I have this. Also, I want to copy the code for it, which I can do through shared CN CLI also, but I would not. I'll just copy here and I'll call it file upload tsx and I'll copy it here. All right. Okay, I need tabular icons react also. Libutils are there, but somehow this is not working, so this will work. All right, now we have it. npm run dev. Let's go to file upload. What's the error? What's the error? All right, this should work. Good linting. These are not lint errors. These are just, I mean, these are lint errors, but we can take care of them later on. For now, I want to have a file upload function thing here. This, and you will see we have drop zone here. If I upload, you see this is what we have, but this is not what we want. We want to modify it, so we are going to modify it. First, let's go to file upload. I'll close this. Now, inside of file upload, I do not want some of the things which are, for example, this a mask ADL. We'll fix that in a minute. And I maybe want a border per se, but border, not border. So shadow SM, shadow black by 10, ring 1, ring black by 10. Let's see what do we have. We have this. Instead of this 10, I'll do 5 and I'll do rounded XL. So you have this right over here. Not so much beautiful as it is supposed to look, but we'll live with it for now. You see, this is what we have. Now I want to do a few things over here. I want to modify it, number one. Number two, let's see how we can modify it. So do we have a height anywhere? Okay, this has to be size. Height, I want to see height, MDH24. All right, maybe we don't want this. And I can write here maybe min H140. You see it is spanning till 140. And again, we'll go to main, not JSX, main.tsx app, and it will be min h screen so that the background is nice. And you see the background white is coming. I do not like that at all. So I'll go to .css, index.css. I'll go to body or HTML. Background would be var color neutral or color gray 100. So once now you scroll, you won't see this. I've already taught how you can do it, all of these things in my Tailwind CSS playlist. Go check it out if you haven't. So here is what we have right now. A huge ass box. Maybe we don't want it to be this big. Maybe we want it to be this big. We never know. Let's just live with it for now. And let's go to file upload and we can give it BG white. And the background that you see is a bit less in my opinion. Let's say row 15. Do we get more? No, we don't get more. I'll have to inspect it a bit. All right. What is the issue? Okay, group file. I want to see this. So maybe it's full. All right, not taking. Flex call, flex one. Now it is taking. Now it is beautiful. And I also want to make it item center, justify center. Okay, this has something. Okay, and this also. This is fine. Flex call item center. Call item center and flex one maybe. Flex full. Man, I hate it. Where is this flex one? This should work. not that great. And I'll have width full over here. Why is it not still there? Which is this component? Why I do not see width full? Why is it not taking the full width? Okay, now we have it. All right, just to center a box, you know. So you have this. Once I upload this, let's say you get this. Now this all can stay. But instead of this, I want an image, and right next to the image, I want to have a drop down, or not drop down. Right next to the image, I want to have a chat input, text area, and a button with which I can maybe prompt the AI and then make an API call to AI SDK. And that is what we are going to do here. Let's first ask the AI now, wherever we have our work, for example, this if files.length, right? Files.length is equal to 0. I want to make it a flex call, have image shown as well, move the details down below. Once the image is uploaded, show a text area and a submit button right next to this box. All right, let's see how it works. Basically, what I want to have here is I want to have a box with an image and a text area wherein you get the point. Enter any prompt and click generate, and it will generate the image for you. And we are going to use AI SDK for that, and we are going to use skill file for that as well. So let us do that. All right, let's see how it goes. What is it doing? I'll update the file component. Okay, image preview, set image preview, prompts and prompt. This is for the chat box. This is for the image. Looks cool. Okay, it is creating the first image preview. That is fine. Cool. This is also fine. Okay, didn't mess it up. That is cool. All right, I'll keep file first because that's what real coders do. They just keep their files. So refresh, and you see if I click here and click here, I get a text area right next to it. This is also fine, but I wanted it right here inside of the box, not this. This looks bad. This looks real bad. So what I want to do here instead is I'll do it manually. Uh, Maybe I can take this text area and inside of this image, I fix up both the things, man. This sucks. All right, where is the image? Where is the image? Files.animation.image. All right. This can be absolute insert 0. This can be min h90, and this can be object cover. Why is it not spanning? All right, let me quickly debug. Okay, why is the image not spanning, man? Okay, it is motion dev, bro. Out of this, maybe, maybe I won't, maybe I don't. Okay, MB4 not required, H48 not required. All right, let's do absolute insert 0. What is the gap, bro? Don't want this gap. Stupid gap. File details below. All right, let's inspect a bit. What is it? Absolute insert 0 object cover, chat GPT image, gen. Okay. Okay, I want it. Where do I actually want it? Maybe. Oh, now it's cool because I copy pasted. Basically, I wanted to make it absolute as well instead. Okay, remove this and have h full here. So you get the entire image right here. There is something off with this UI. I don't know what it is, but I'll find you and I'll fix you. There are too many empties. Don't want this stupid nonsense. Looks better. Again, there is again some empty 4 which I don't want. I'll remove it. Better. Looks good. Now I don't want that big of a thing of an image. Maybe I'll have some masking over here. So I'll write mask B from, it's a 10% and mask B to 80% so that it is slightly, you get the point, right? And it'll just be flex call items end justify end, not start, end. This should go at the bottom. Somehow it is not going, which is sad. And we are going to bg red 500, and this will be flex call items end justify end. So now it is at the bottom, which is nice. I want to lose out on the P's that I have, and maybe I'll have the P's over here because this is where I want to have it. And I'll remove the BG right 500. Now you have this. I will generally reduce down on the fonts. Text can be excess because we don't want it to be that big, and text neutral can be 500. Lose the dark for now. Similarly, XX 500, it has to be simple, and this can be this fine. This looks fine. Modified text XX text neutral 400. Cool. So this is fine. This looks okayish for now. I am recording this, right? I am. So now you have this. I want this text area right next to this big ass image. So where is this big ass image? These are file details, these are image preview, and this is big. This is image preview container. Instead, if there is another, this is your files right over here. I don't want it here. Instead, I want it here. And it can be flex row. And it cried somehow. Why is it not taking full width? All right. Sorry about a bit of confusion, guys. Had to debug a lot. That is what happens when you copy components as well. So now this is working. Basically, what I did was I have an outer container now. Inside of that, I am pasting this can be written 32. And finally, you have this dashed border inside of relative W full. So AI actually is slowing me down, but it is good, right? So once you select, you get this image. And again, maybe I want to fix it up a bit. And before that, when I click the text area or submit the button, file upload should not be triggered. This is happening for quite some time. Let's use AI to fix it. And with that, I also want to style a bit of this, which we have. Describe what you want to generate. I can maybe write a better prompt and maybe have a bit of overflow hidden. That I'll do. But before that, let's wait for the AI to work. I think it did the stop propagation thing, and I think that will be it for it. Just fine. Let's move on to styling the text area. I don't want font. Where is font? Font normal or regular is fine. Generate thumbnail can be, all right. Let's see first. What is this? Can be absolute. Is it relative? Should be, and it has to be inset x0 bottom 0 w full py4 bg black text white, and you have this. Maybe I can give it rounded lg. This also has to be rounded lg. So now you have this button as well, and it will be cursor pointer. All right, we have this. So now we have the structure that we want. We have the prompt, we have the image, and we want to create thumbnails now. For that, we are going to use AI SDK and Google AI Studio. Now these two things, what is AI SDK? I can use AI SDK like this, or I can use skills now to install AI SDK skills. For example, skills.sh, and I'll search for AI SDK, and I'll use this, and I'll copy it, and I'll go back here, hit clear, and so for this, for actually generating content that we have right here, for actually generating thumbnails, we need one Google Gemini API, and two, some way for me to actually use some packages to call those APIs by Google. Now we can use Google's Gen AI package, or we can use AI SDK. Let's go ahead and use AI SDK, and we are going to do it through the help of skills. What are skills? I've already talked about skills in a separate video, but if you want to have skills in your cursor, go to cursor, beta, and enable nightly here. Go to your terminal and hit enter with this copied command. This is for AI SDK. This will go ahead and install skills into your repository so that it knows what is AI SDK, how do you even call APIs with Google and stuff. And this is what we are going to do now. We are going to install it with cursor, project, symlink, and done. Once you're done, you'll see in cursor in skills.md, it tells you how to actually call the AI SDK, and there are common errors and AI gateway, whatever you want to use it, you use it. And this is what we have. Now, if I do npm run dev over here and I move here, simply I want to prompt the AI to actually write me the code for AI SDK. For that, you'll also need an API key of Google AI Studio. Go to Google AI Studio, create a project or create an API key. For example, here, go to API keys, create an API key, and you'll get an API key right here. For example, create, and you'll be able to create it. You get a generous free tier or a generous tier to actually work with your keys, but I'll switch account here. I'll see if I have a paid one somewhere. So I have this API key already with me, which I'm going to use, but I'm going to prompt the AI now to write the code, to actually write the code for AI. So for that, I'm going to write a simple prompt, create a gemini.ts file where you are going to call Google Gemini API through AI SDK available skills MD file and generate three thumbnails. If the user has not provided the API key, prompt the user to enter their API keys. It should be at the top right of the video, and you top right of the video. And that is it. That is pretty much it. Let's see how it works. So it is reading the AI SDK. It is learning the AI SDK. That is what skill file is. You just can install skills, for example, front end skills, AI skills, whatever skills you want to master or you want your AI to master, and it will do exactly that. Love cursor. All right. First, I'll do allow list, and I think it will make some mistakes, but I'm there to correct. I am there to actually review. Okay. Official Google Gen AI SDK, which has a browser support as the AI SDK is primarily server side. That is true. And that was the catch. It is a wheat application. So I wanted it to work. Anyhow, it works. But I believe there is an AI SDK Google. It is there. It should work. It should, but let's see. I'm okay with Google. I'm okay with anything as long as it generates me images. Also, I want to set it to local storage. I didn't prompt it to do that. Let's see if it did it automatically. All right, this is fine. All right. All right. Let us see where we are with our thumbnail generator. Enter API key. Even I don't know my API key, man. But that's fine. But if I save it and I refresh it, do I have the API key? So it is persisting in local storage. That is what I wanted to see. That is fine. Review next file, keep file. That is fine. Review next file, keep file. That is fine. Review next file, keep file. That is fine. All right. I don't want the API key input. That is fine. Local storage dot get item. Cool. Local storage dot set item. Cool. Is saved. Set local key. What is the error? All right. Let's just quit this for now. What's the error? All right. I'll check that in a minute. But first, let's see this. If saved key, set local key, there are calling set status. Let's fix it with AI. I've just stopped thinking, I feel. All right. Handle key, local key dot trim, set item on API key change, trim. They're setting it on API key change. Okay, you're having it from app TSX. All right. This works as well for me. But this sucks UI wise. I can probably live with it. But let's first check out our Gemini.ts file. Google Gen AI, okay, API key is required. I think it will make an API call to check if the API is working because it is a part based on this image. Create a YouTube thumbnail prompt variation. Create a thumbnail prompt variation. Where are you getting variation? Get variation prompt. Okay, make it bold, eye catching. Oh, we have prompts. Okay, this is nice. It is also giving me different variations of that image. Cool. Again, we are calling the API. This is not what we want. We want Gemini 2.5 flash image, I think it is called. This is exactly what I want. And once we have it, let's see how it generates. Now, first, I have given the wrong API key. Let's see how it performs. Let's take the image. You are going to fail anyway. So generate three thumbnails, generating three thumbnails. No thumbnails were generated. Please try again. First, it is bad at a bad place. I did save it, didn't I? It's not allowing me to save, bro. All right, now it is saved. I'll go to app, I'll go to hero, I'll go to file upload. I'll just run npm run dev and let's see. You have this, take the image, upload, generate, abcd, generate. No thumbnails were generated. Class name would be empty4. So we have no thumbnails were generated. Please try again. All right. I can maybe make the errors better, but for now, let me just go to the API key. I'll copy the API key. I'll paste it and I'll save it. Now I refresh. Let's see. Generate something for me. Let's see if it generates. It is generating three thumbnails. Let's wait for it. It did generate and it is good. It is decent because it is Nano Banana Pro. That is what we wanted. This is all done with AI. Maybe I do not like the UI as such, but still it is a working solution. Instead of variation, where is variation written? I do not need this at all. Remove this. And I want the prompt, the AI to actually do this. I want to show the images as soon as they are generated. So even if at least one image is generated, start showing it. If the image is not generated, show a skeleton. This is what I wanted to prompt it. What is that stupid looking key icon? I is fine. What is this? What is this stupidity? And meanwhile, while I'm here, might as well fix the UI for this as well. Maybe, just maybe. I don't want P3. Maybe I want rounded full. And maybe I want PL4. Maybe a button I want rounded full. Maybe no border. Shadow SM shadow black by 10. Ring 1 ring black by 5. Not shadow LG. Now I have this. Why is the button not behaving the way I want it to? Full. This looks okayish. I can live with it. This can be text XS because it has to be XS. And why are there paddings on the input box? Why? That's cool. It is fine. Now let's see. Okay, we have the AI generate us the thumbnail generated. That is exactly what I wanted. Once it is generated, just start spitting out results to me. Just do it. Keep on doing it. All right. As and when thumbnails are generated, we get a call back and we start showing stuff. So let's see how we are doing right now. Take the image, create a thumbnail for AI versus human in the style of Mr. Beast. All right, we have got skeletons, bad skeletons, but still skeletons. And let us see if we get something generated. Okay, we got two images generated. Third one, it's still generating and it is nice. And we can also download. Now, this is what I wanted to create. And there are many ways of you to actually integrate it. I also want to write a feature list for it that you can do, and you can make it an entire application that actually works, that actually can be monetized. And I want to talk about the monetization strategy for that as well. But first, before that, we should deploy this application, and let's deploy this application. So once you're logged in, once you've made the purchase, you'll see something like this, wherein you can just go ahead and manage it. I already did. Click on installation, select on your server, for example, Ubuntu or Fedora. In this case, we used Ubuntu to actually have a dedicated Ubuntu server running. I'll click on manage, and we have the IP address in the root access for this. You have to set up a password. You can do it in the installation step. Once we already have it, let's go to our code again and let's try and start deploying it. And I'll use Claude Code to deploy this application. Awesome. Let's clear this up and let's open Claude. All right. So I'll just tell him that I have this IP address of this server, VPS. It is at this IP address. I'll ask it to deploy my application there. And how I want to do it is, I'm not going to tell it anything, but if I tell you in short how it's going to be, it is going to be pretty straightforward. All right. We are going to build project and it will give us a dist file. And we are going to push it to this server, which is Nginx server web. There are many benefits of an Nginx server. Since it is a static file, it is going to spit out a dist folder. We do not need actually a node server running. We can have an Nginx web server running, which has its own benefits. You can then serve it with any other CDN website, for example, any CDN, and you can have a domain which actually works. And we are going to upload via SSH or rsync. Now you don't have to understand everything because we have Claude for that, and we'll see how Claude actually performs. For that, this server, the server that we have over here, for example, this server, this has to have a few things. It has to have app, node, nginx. It has to have nginx config file for actually telling which port to serve to. All of these things I'll actually verify once done, because it has to write a deploy.sh script for me for it to actually deploy to a server. So let's see how it performs. I'll just give it this. I have a VPS add. All right. Deploy this project to that VPS server for me, please. Let us see how Claude performs. Okay, we'll use Nginx. Good. Okay, we'll use the IP address. Yes, with let's encrypt, I want SSL. Submit answers. Let's see how it performs. Meanwhile, okay, it is going to build it for me. It is going to create a dist file for me. Error. Nice. Icon key is declared, but it is never used. Fix it for me. Thank you. Thank you, Claude. I hope there are no more build errors. Who am I? Okay, this is testing SSH connection. That is fine. We'll have to permanently add this to the list of known hosts. Yes, if I'm trying to, I can provide password. So it should write a deploy script that is going to ask me my password of that server every time I want to deploy. That is more secure in my opinion. And that is what I'm going to do right now. Or I'll just prompt it to write a deploy script for me. It is doing through SSH ID. All right, I'll ask it specifically to do whatever I say. Write a deploy script instead. VPS is password protected. Every time you want to execute something or the script wants to execute something, it will exactly that. Whatever I was writing, it did that. All right, let's see. All right, wrong password. That's me. That's me. I hope this password is correct. It is going to install apt. That is right. It is going to install Nginx. That is right. Let us see. All right. Let me check the Nginx config though. Okay, your app is now accessible at this. Let us try this. Internal server error. Exactly. This is not working. Claude. This is not working. I get a server error. Install Nginx and have an Nginx conf in the first place. I don't see a conf file. I'm not a big DevOps guy anyway. I'll just copy paste the Nginx conf file. Yes, not here, bro, not here. I'll just create an Nginx conf file quickly right here. I have it with me. .conf and I'll paste it. It is basically a configuration file which tells which server, which port to listen to, which server to look up to. This I don't need. I will have to change it to IP address, which is 70 something. I forgot. I think it was that. I can remove this. It is 7262 7260 222 772. And instead of YT thumbnail generator, it will just be thumbnail generator. Claude, you have Nginx conf. Where is my deploy file? I'll check it. All right, let's try it again. All right, our script is live and our website is live. So once we visit this, you get it. You get it right here. I want to plug in my API key really quickly. Google AI Studio. Build your apps. Where is my API key? API key. There is my API key. There is my thumbnail generator. There is my API key saved. Let's take this and say create an AI thumbnail for a video that I am recording on the topic. Create a YT thumbnail generator with me and deploy it on Hostinger. Let's see what we get. See, we get 3 to 4 thumbnails. It is doing something. It is nice. I won't say the result is the best out there, but you get it, right? So we actually built an application and deployed it. Now you can go ahead and create your own subdomain as well. That I'll leave it up to you. But there are a few things that I want to talk about with this, which is I'm going to call it monetization paths. Now, if you keep it open source, you can run ads on it. All right. And once you run ads on it, for example, you see this space is empty, this space is empty. You can have startups pitch to startups, you can say that I've got X amount of traffic, Y amount of traffic, whatever. But there are a feature list that I want to talk about. First, add reference images and spit out relevant thumbnails. Give the user storage or multi-device access. Login and auth with credits so that you don't ask them to input their API keys. Instead, you handle all the creation generation. They pay you monthly. That can be one validation. Fourth is thumbnail suggestions based on topics. Fifth can be generate thumbnail based on title. Six, fetch YT video and suggest thumbnails. There can be many. These are some which are on top of my mind, which I would want to implement in this type of a project. I'm going to open source this so you get the point. You have this repo with you. Ultimately, if you can use it, if you can make something out of it, that will be great. That will be amazing. But with this, I conclude this video. So we created a website from scratch. We vibe coded a lot. We vibe deployed a lot. I'm not the best person to deploy, but I was able to deploy it on a cheap VPS on Hostinger, which is efficient. I was able to do it under 2 minutes. So if you're watching this video, if you plan on to buying a VPS, do check out Hostinger. They're a great platform. The link is in the description. You can use my code MANUPAJI to get 10% off on their VPS product. And we used many technologies, AI SDK, Cloud Code, and a lot of things to create this application. It was interesting to actually see how far we have come in terms of AI and how we are shipping a lot of code to production with the help of AI and also deploying it with the help of AI. So thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. तब तक के लिए भाई जय हिंद, बहुत काम करो, बहुत मेहनत करो. I'll see you in the next one.